Hello, welcome to the wine review. I'm Ryan, the wine guy. This is Odyssey, and where we will be reviewing Red Theory Cabernet Sauvignon from Columbia Valley. This is a Washington wine. They make cabs, they make merlots, they make red blends. They may make a Pinot, so they do a lot of stuff. And as I said, they're based out of Washington State, so don't get that confused with a California. It is 13.9% alcohol by volume. This is easy everyday price, $12, $13, $14, depending on where you shop. Very just budget wine, less than 15. Blackcurrant and vanilla scents give way to flavors of ripe cassis, blackberries, and hints of tobacco. Finishes with soft, velvety tannins. What's great in theory tastes better in reality. And that's winemaker Hal Landvogt. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but anyway, this is what this year's vintage looks like. The 2014 vintage. Some of their newer vintages, I think they've changed their label, so be careful when you look out for that. I think their new label is all just red. Still has some sort of weird looking thing. I think it's the what system is it? Like with the A and H and LC and CU symmetric system or whatever it's called. I don't know, but that's what the new one looks like. All red with the whatever makes up our system of helium, oxygen, whatever that is. I don't know. No, I'm not a scientist, and I haven't been in school for a while, so I don't remember what that crap's called. It's not important, though. I'm drinking wine. We're drinking wine, Odyssey and I. Okay, so we're going to start off on the color. Very, very dark wine. Really, really rich in purple. Red on the rims, but very, very just deep, dark. Getting really deep in purple in the middle, like really opaque, very hard to see through. Like a black cherry sort of look. There is blackberries on the nose. I am getting black cherry, vanilla. Definitely like that cigar tobacco. Very, very moderate red fruits. I am getting a little bit of pomegranate for some reason. Definitely the cassis is playing through. Just a slight touch of baking spices. Yeah, the very woodsiness is coming through on that, with that. Yeah, very woodsy, very barrel, you can tell. Maybe just a small herbaceous note as well. Very light green pepper. Very, very light. But I'm smelling a little bit of it. All right, I'm going to try it and then sniff again and see if anything's coming through. Very smooth going down. Blackberry. A little bit of a cherry note in there. Smooth vanilla. Does have that tobacco. Very dry finish. So very fruit forward at the start. Very, very dry finish now. Really leaving me with that. There is this layering of fruit, but it's like a dried up fruit. It's not like a sweet fruit like at the beginning where it's like fruity, like fresh off the vine. Now this is sort of, you still have fruit flavors in them, but it's almost like a dried out fruit or a frozen fruit. In the back, you get that vanilla. Tobacco, the wood. Let's let Odyssey have some. Oh, that means he likes it when he keeps looking back and forth. Yes, I know. I'm trying to do a review. Come on. Think. You know, something I'm just now getting. Let me do one more sip. Yeah. This has a, I don't know how to describe it. It's, I want to say it's not jammy, but it does sort of have a gelatin sort of taste almost immediately after you sip, after you get to the fruity parts, right before it becomes dry. I kind of get like a little gelatin taste, and it kind of just lingers there. But like I said, it's not like jam, but it's, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's just kind of there, and just kind of stays there with you. Like after you've had like Jello or lots of jelly, and it just kind of, it wants to hold your mouth together, but it doesn't seem like jammy in the sense of jamness when you describe wine. So that's interesting. I guess it's like I guess I would say it's a lighter version of a jam. I guess I could say there might be some jamness there, but it's very light. Okay, well with that, it's time for my final review. Great nose, so that has no deductions there. Finish, very long, very great. I'm not sort of getting some of the flavors that I got on the nose. I mentioned green pepper. I'm not really getting much herbaceousness on the palate. I do get the blackberry, black cherry. I get the vanilla, I get the tobacco. So the profile tasting is roughly the same. There's just maybe some minor things that I'm getting on a taste that I don't really necessarily like the sort of like the gelatinous, the gelatinous. Based off the nose, I would not expect to get that on the palate. Can I get that on the palate? Kind of has finish. Now that it's finished, is very, very rough, very, very dry. I don't mind that. Some people might think this is a little too dry on the finish, because it has such a smooth approach. But then after a couple of minutes, it's like really like, oh wow, this is really leaving me with this dry structure. I'm going to deduct just a small bit off of that, just for the sake of people who might not like that. So I understand that. I like it, so it doesn't get hardly a deduction at all. In fact, maybe only 0.25 for the two things I just mentioned. And I mean, it's 2014. Washington Cab, it's 3 years now that it's out of vintage. Could see what it does for another few years. I don't think it really needs that much longer. I think it's good, especially for just everyday drinking kind of wine. Something that they'll probably come out with another release, the 2015 or 16 vintage here in the next year or two. So not something you would age in the cellar for say 10 years, but maybe 2 or 3 more would do. But I like it. I love this, and it's going to get a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Just a small deductions for just a few little quirks that this may have in it. But other than that, this is a fine, good everyday wine, affordable wine, and very savory. Enjoyed this wine. Odyssey. Okay, yes, he wants some more. All right, well, I guess until next time, everyone, when I might do a bourbon review or a rye, or who knows. I'm now getting the scotches, so be on the lookout for a scotch review. But until then, this is Red Theory, the Cabernet Sauvignon, Columbia Valley, Washington State. I'm Ryan, the wine guy, a.k.a. Ryan Whiskey Wine Dane. That's my new name, and this is Odyssey. Cheers.